Welcome, everyone. Today, we embark on a journey through the life of one of the most polarizing figures of the 20th century, Ernesto Che Guevara. His legacy has sparked intense debate. Some view him as a martyr for the oppressed, while others see him as a ruthless enforcer of a violent ideology. What lies beneath the surface of this iconic revolutionary? Together, we'll explore the complexities of Che Guevara's life, his beliefs, and the impact he had on the world. Early life and influences. Ernesto Guevara was born on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, Argentina, into a middle-class family. His father was a civil engineer and a staunch Marxist, which influenced Che's early exposure to leftist ideas. Despite suffering from asthma, which limited his physical activities, Che developed a voracious appetite for reading. He immersed himself in literature, particularly the works of Marx, Lenin, and other radical thinkers, trying to understand the societal structures around him. The Great Depression left a lasting mark on Argentina, exacerbating wealth inequality and poverty. Che's family, while middle class, faced hardships during this time, instilling in him a sense of empathy for the marginalized. The stark contrast he witnessed between the affluent and the impoverished fueled his growing discontent with societal norms. As a medical student at the University of Buenos Aires, Che began to see the systemic inequalities in healthcare. He became increasingly disillusioned with the notion that medicine could solve the symptoms of a corrupt system without addressing its root causes. This realization set him on a path of radical activism, as he sought a way to create meaningful change. In 1951, Che embarked on a transformative motorcycle journey across Latin America with his friend Alberto Granado. This trip took them through various countries, including Chile and Peru, where they witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of poverty and imperialism. In places like the indigenous communities of Peru, Che developed a profound understanding of the socio-economic injustices that plagued the region. He encountered leprosy patients in San Pablo, which left a deep impression on him and solidified his resolve to fight for social justice. The turning point: meeting Fidel Castro. In 1955, Che's life took a decisive turn when he met Fidel Castro in Mexico City. Castro's vision for a socialist Cuba resonated deeply with Che, who was eager to join the fight against the oppressive Batista regime. Che became a key member of the July 26 movement, which aimed to overthrow Batista's government. Che's charisma, military strategy, and medical knowledge made him an invaluable asset to the movement. He fought bravely in the Cuban Revolution, participating in guerrilla warfare, and quickly earned the respect of his comrades. The revolution culminated in 1959 when Batista was overthrown, and Che emerged as one of the most powerful figures in the new Cuban government. Following the revolution, Che was appointed Minister of Industry. He was instrumental in implementing radical reforms, including land redistribution and nationalization of industries. His vision was to create a more equitable society where the wealth was shared among all and not concentrated in the hands of a few. However, Che faced numerous challenges, both from within the government and from external forces, particularly from the United States, which viewed the socialist revolution in Cuba as a direct threat to its interests in the region. Conflicts and challenges in Cuba. Che's tenure in the Cuban government was marked by both triumphs and tribulations. While he worked to implement sweeping reforms, he also encountered significant opposition. Political dissent was not tolerated, and Che's commitment to revolutionary ideals often manifested in harsh measures against those he deemed counter-revolutionary. His infamous quote, "We must create the pedagogy of the revolution," highlights his belief in the necessity of ideological education, but also honors the lengths to which he was willing to go to suppress opposition. Furthermore, the Cuban economy faced severe difficulties, complicated by the U.S. trade embargo and the need for rapid transformation. As Minister of Industry, Che promoted industrialization, but the results were often mixed. Critics point to the harsh realities of his policies, including forced labor and the suppression of civil liberties, as evidence of his ruthless approach to governance. Che's increasingly strained relationship with the Soviet Union also contributed to his growing discontent. While he initially embraced Soviet support, he became disillusioned with their approach to socialism, feeling it lacked the revolutionary fervor he believed was necessary for true change. This ideological rift highlighted the complexities of Che's vision and his struggle to maintain his revolutionary ideals in the face of practical governance challenges. Global revolutionary aspirations. In 1965, feeling constrained by the limitations of his role in Cuba and driven by an unwavering commitment to global revolution, Che Guevara resigned from his government posts. He believed that the struggle for socialism was not limited to Cuba but was a broader fight against imperialism and capitalism throughout Latin America and beyond. His departure marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one that would be filled with both hope and tragedy. Che traveled to Africa to support revolutionary movements, particularly during the Congo crisis. He believed that the struggles faced by newly independent African nations were similar to those in Latin America, and he sought to provide guidance and support to insurgent groups. However, the mission was fraught with difficulties. Che faced logistical challenges, a lack of local support, and ultimately, the realization that the conditions in the Congo were not conducive to a successful guerrilla campaign. This experience was a sobering reminder of the complexities of revolution and the limits of outside intervention. Undeterred, Che turned his attention to Bolivia, where he hoped to ignite a guerrilla movement that would inspire uprisings throughout the region. In 1966, he secretly entered Bolivia with a small group of Cuban and Bolivian revolutionary fighters. Che believed that the Bolivian peasantry, particularly the indigenous communities, would rise up against the oppressive government. However, his plans were met with fierce resistance. The Bolivian military, supported by the CIA, was well-equipped and prepared to counteract any revolutionary activity. Che's efforts in Bolivia were marked by a series of setbacks and miscalculations. Despite his determination and strategic thinking, he struggled to gain local support. The lack of a robust base of support and the challenges of guerrilla warfare in the rugged Bolivian terrain proved to be insurmountable. This period was characterized by desperation and struggle, as Che and his comrades faced dwindling supplies, harsh conditions, and increasing isolation. Capture and execution. On October 8, 1967, Che Guevara was captured by the Bolivian army in a skirmish in the Uro River Valley. His capture was the result of a combination of factors, including betrayal by locals and the effectiveness of Bolivian military intelligence, which had been trained and supported by the United States. Following his capture, Che was transferred to a school in La Higuera, where he was interrogated. The next day, on October 9, 1967, Che was executed, marking a tragic end to his revolutionary journey. His death sent shockwaves around the world, prompting an outpouring of grief and outrage among his supporters. For many, Che had become a martyr for the revolutionary cause, embodying the struggle against imperialism and oppression. His last words, "I know you have come to kill me. Shoot, coward. You are only going to kill a man," reflect his unwavering conviction and bravery in the face of death. Che's execution not only marked the end of his life, but also symbolized the repression of the revolutionary spirit in Latin America. The enduring impact of Che's legacy. In the years following his death, Che Guevara's image transformed into an iconic symbol of rebellion and resistance. His face became synonymous with revolutionary movements across the globe, appearing on posters, T-shirts, and graffiti. From student protests in the United States to anti-imperialist rallies in Latin America and Africa, Che's legacy resonated with those fighting against perceived injustices. However, his legacy is far from straightforward. While many revere him as a champion of the downtrodden, others criticize his methods and the human rights abuses that occurred under his regime. Reports of executions of political opponents and a lack of tolerance for dissent present a more complicated picture of his commitment to revolutionary ideals. This duality invites us to consider the nature of revolutions, the costs they entail, and the complexities of ideological purity versus practical governance. Today, Che Guevara remains a polarizing figure. His life prompts us to grapple with difficult questions. What does it mean to fight for justice? At what cost should we pursue our ideals? How do we navigate the complexities of change in a world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred? Lessons from Che's life. So, what can we learn from Che Guevara's life and legacy? Perhaps most importantly, we see the dangers of ideological dogma and the importance of critically evaluating our beliefs and values. Che's unwavering commitment to his cause often blinded him to the complexities of human nature and governance. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the potential perils of extremism and the necessity of balancing conviction with empathy. Moreover, Che's life illustrates the power of conviction and the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. His unwavering dedication to his principles, despite the significant personal cost, is a testament to the strength of human spirit and activism. However, this also raises questions about the ethical implications of revolutionary action and the potential consequences of pursuing ideals without regard for the complexities of real-world governance. Che's journey encourages us to engage critically with history and to recognize the multifaceted nature of revolutionary movements. It challenges us to consider the role of dialogue and compromise in enacting social change. While passion and conviction are essential, they must be tempered with understanding and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. Conclusion. Reflecting on a complex legacy. As we conclude our exploration of Che Guevara's life, we are reminded of the enduring power of human conviction and the relentless pursuit of justice. His story serves not only as a narrative of a revolutionary figure, but also as a reflection of the complexities of political ideology and the moral dilemmas faced by those who seek to challenge the status quo. Whether you view Che as a hero or a villain, his legacy prompts us to reflect on our roles in the ongoing struggle for social justice. His life encourages us to engage with the complexities of revolutionary ideals and to seek a balance between conviction and compassion. We must ask ourselves, how can we advocate for change in our societies while respecting the rights and freedoms of others? How do we ensure that our pursuit of justice does not lead to further oppression? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the life of Che Guevara. If you're interested in learning more about revolutionary figures and movements, I encourage you to explore future videos that delve into the complexities of radical politics, from Fidel Castro to Hugo Chavez. Understanding these histories is crucial as we navigate our contemporary world. In closing, Che Guevara's life is a powerful reminder that the struggle for justice is ongoing and that our convictions can inspire action. Let us carry forward the lessons learned from his legacy, striving for a world that embraces both justice and humanity. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and consider subscribing to my channel Cyber Theo.